When I entered the cafeteria, I mean, it was just like, bam, like she's there. You couldn't miss her. And she was like the main character in that moment. I was like, wow. I thought it was like a Laffy Taffy or something. It was not. It was a condom. I can't tell if I was brave or stupid in college. I mean, I feel like I had some true guts. So much so I'm actually envious of my freshman bravery, because now, maybe it's just because of COVID, but now I feel like it's a lot harder. Either that or I just made it seem a lot easier because I was a freshman. But today's story time is called Talking to Girls. Simple as I can put it. I'll say I was pretty good at it. I mean, at least I think I was. Inevitably, I had so many encounters that I was just like, I left laughing at myself in the situations I was getting myself in. Before we keep going, go hit up the Instagram. I'm trying to impress some more sponsors, and your follow and interaction on the content would mean a lot. We're turning the page from video game to lifestyle, and so support would mean a lot. Thank you. So, talking to girls. At A&M, there's this thing called the MSC, the Memorial Student Center, and it's this big hub where most of the college traffic goes through, either for food, for different types of shops, studying, just a lot of foot traffic, right? So naturally, there are booths and tables set up when events come around, or groups, sororities, frats, organizations looking to entice you with their products. They pitch their tent in the hallways at the MSC, and they can spot the freshmen. They can spot the hopelessness, but also the energy and excitement of not knowing what college is about to be for them. I was one of these people. I looked lost, but I looked eager, you know? I was eagerly lost, ready to start my first year of college. And the MSC just did me dirty. So on so many occasions, I can name so many times I was in there and I didn't do well for myself. First of which was actually when I had exams, and to get people through their week or even just through their exam, they were giving out freebies for like drinks, food, candy, supplies. They were giving free stuff out to, make sure that your vibes were high and you could pass your first exams. So, I mean, one week, I'm just walking through and they're like, take one. And I was like, yeah. And I reached in this bowl and I grabbed this thing that I thought was candy, and I put it in my pocket. I went on my way, and then, I was like, you know what? I've been good. I studied well. I studied hard, and, I'm not exactly following any sort of diet plan. So, you know what? Let me just have this candy that I just took from the MSC. I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna treat myself before this exam to and I pull it out of my pocket. Into my horror, it's a condom. And I was like, oh my God, I've made some friends. I know some people now. What if one of my friends had seen me take that? What if one of my counselors from the Christian summer camp that I am aspiring to join the next semester, what if they had seen me so eagerly be like, whoa, yeah, and reach in and yeah, because I was excited. And I thought it was like a Laffy Taffy or something. It was not. It was a condom. And then I dropped it. Somewhere along that like confusion and like what, I dropped it and lost it. All that to say, I had interactions like that at the MSC all the time. So, girls, there was this girl that was a year older than me, and she had the image of like the popular girl. I don't know what I expected at college, but there were just people that you just knew already, like you're gonna be popular, like, or you already are popular somehow. And she was one of those girls, and I was just like, wow, okay. We didn't share any classes or anything, but I had seen her around. I just kept seeing this girl, and I was like, I think it's meant to be. I remember one time my brother actually gloated that she followed him on like Facebook or something lame. It wasn't even like Instagram. It wasn't even a good platform. It was like a Facebook. And I was like, it's more than me, but that's dumb, Anyway, I'm walking through the MSC and I see this girl at one of the booths. My heart immediately started racing, started pumping. And that was a routine thing for me. Heart starts pumping. I can feel it in the back of my throat. Yet that never discouraged me from being like, I'm going to go up and talk to them. So naturally, as I'm walking up to this booth, I don't even know what she's doing there. All I know is I see her and I'm just like admiring. And inevitably, the longer you stare at someone while approaching them, they are going to take notice and look at you, right? So then I lock eyes with this girl and I'm like, my moment. And she goes, hey, oh my gosh, can I tell you about blah, blah, blah? I'm pretty sure it was philanthropy. I don't even know what it was about. All I remember is that I walk up to this thing, she starts talking to me, and I'm just like, wow. Yeah. You know how when you get stuck in a conversation and you want it to be over and you're like, dang, that's crazy. Dang, That's crazy. You're like 7 dang that's crazy's in and you just wish it was over. I feel like I was doing that because I truly had nothing to bring to the conversation besides like, dang, that's crazy. But I didn't want to leave. That was exactly where I wanted to be. I didn't want to be anywhere else. I was right where I wanted to be, but I didn't have anything to bring to the conversation because again, she took me off guard. She's suddenly right in front of me. I'm just like, I didn't prepare a speech. I didn't memorize anything, you know, just bleh. And she's given me her whole speech. She's memorized something obviously. And I'm just, yeah, taking it in. Right? I couldn't tell you a single thing she said to me until it came to the part where she was asking for money. And without a second thought, without a hesitation, I pull out my wallet. I give her a 20. Shirts were $10. I was just like, this is the best $10 I have ever spent. Like somehow that $10 was going to be like, whoa, that is so hot. You know,
I thought it went great.
That's what freshman me thought I was going to do. I give her money. She gives me a t-shirt and she goes, thanks. And I walk away with this hideous t-shirt. I mean, truly the ugliest color scheme I have ever seen in my life. It was like a light gray with some blue and pink, like a t-shirt I never wore, never planned on wearing. I had no idea what it was even for. I'm walking away with my t-shirt and a big smile on my face because I just talked to this girl and I was just like on cloud 9. And then, you know, I flap the shirt open and I'm just like, what did we buy? And I mean, not only was it grotesque, but it was grotesquely large. Homegirl sold me a 2XL t-shirt for $10. When I got to college, I was $1.50, maybe. I was barely filling out a small. And homegirl had the audacity to give me a 2XL, probably because she knew that I was out of it. That there was not much rolling around in my head besides my heart. Worst $10 I've ever. I mean, I threw that thing away so quick. Didn't even smell like her. I mean, like, had it smelled like her, I'm sure it would have been a dub. But no, that was just a lost perfectly good $10. Haven't really recovered. Story number 2. I was an econ major, business minor, and so a lot of my classes were over towards the business side of the school. And there was this one like secondary cafeteria on the west side of campus. I routinely went there because they had a Chick-fil-A, and so I'd get my Chick-fil-A biscuit, get my Chick-fil-A sauce, munch down on pretty much like a Tuesday, Thursday type of basis for my Tuesday, Thursday classes. Great stuff. Because I went there so often, I started paying attention to who was also there around the same time. And there was this girl that would sit alone at the same time every Tuesday, Thursday, eating food in one of the little chairs in the cafeteria. So, you know, I do my due diligence. I observe things, you know, for a couple weeks as I was very used to doing. I like to do my research, you know, who's pulling up? Is she alone? Does she look taken? Am I giving off stalker vibes? Always no. I just like doing my research a little beforehand so that I have the best chance of not embarrassing myself. But inevitably that just always happens. So one Tuesday afternoon, it's go time. We've done our research. We know what we have to do to go talk to this girl. And I pull up that day and literally, I don't know how it worked out, but I'm pretty sure there were like little mini skylights on the ceiling that allowed for natural light. That, or the sun was just coming in at a somehow glorified angle of exactly where she was sitting, where when I entered the cafeteria, I mean, it was just like, bam, like she's there. You couldn't miss her. And she was like the main character in that moment. I was like, wow. And so I get my boldness together, me and my boldness, and I go straight over to her and I was like, hey, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, I think you're really beautiful and I wanted to know your name. It's not bad. I didn't hear her name. Why? Because my heartbeat was so loud in my own ears that she opens her mouth and she smiles and then she says something. But because, my ears are going boom, 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 boom. And then by the time I delivered it was like boom, 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 I had no idea what she said. Not a clue. But I was like, oh, wow. Nice to meet you. Shook her hand and said, have a great day. And I dipped. I walked out. I didn't even get my food. And I'm pretty sure when I walked out, I had no idea where I was going, but I was like, I've committed to walking out. I've got 2 more hours left to kill. So I guess we're just going to go on a walk or just hit the road, And I go out and I was just like, well, I mean, that was fun, but now what? Like, I don't even know what her name is. That came back to bite me because see, I came back Thursday. She's sitting there again. And I was like, you know what? I was bold, but like, to what end? Like nothing happened. I didn't get nothing. So I went back up to her. I said, hey, can I get your number? I would love to take you out sometime. Great. Pretty dang good. She smiled. She said, oh my gosh, I'd love to. And I was like, let's go. Let's go. I give her my phone and I freaking hate it when people do this. She takes my phone, she puts in her number and gives it back. And I'm like, no, that is a problem. When somebody gives you their phone to put in your contact information, I like literally just fill it out. Fill out a contact. Fill out the name, your first and last name, because if your name is Emily or Sarah, something basic, right? I guarantee you're not the only Emily or Sarah in their phone. So just give them a last name. That would be great. A first name is starters, basic. Like that should be a given. I didn't even get that. She literally phone up just the phone number, boom, gives it back. And I was like, oh, come on. Because I didn't hear it. And I guess maybe she thought he already asked for my name. So he'll just put that in his phone. So there I am. I'm just like, nah, I don't know to do. I'm like, oh, thanks. I'll send you a text. How do you spell your name? You know, like I was lost. I was like, I have no idea what to do. I ended up texting her later and I had one mutual friend. that knew who she was that told me that her name was Lavender. I think that's why she didn't think to give me her name again, because it was so unique. There wouldn't be another Lavender in my phone. And she was right. That was a first. And when I was like, her name is I couldn't believe it. I was like, her name is Lavender? Didn't work out. I'll say that. It just didn't work out. All that to say, I think I did a very good job. Very proud. But holy smokes, man. I know women want a guy that listens, but sometimes my heartbeat really drowns out what's coming out of their mouth.